So I've started the recording. So feedback from everybody is we're starting with low energy, so we'll honor that from today. I added a new addition to the yoga room. These words from Thich Nhat Hanh, one of the mantras that the community used, and I think it's a really nice addition. So our fractal is now behind the camera, and it says, "I have arrived, I'm home." Hi, Sandra. So there's your brother.
Hi, brother.
He's back with us.
Big brother.
So Sandra, the consensus is that a lot of people have low energy today. So we start with low energy and we'll move from there.
Oh, I need to close the camera. I have a very bad connection here.
Okay, no problem.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Because the sound is, well, it's not good.
Okay, let me see here.
Scratch, and it's kind of scratching.
I'll resume the recording. Okay, so, all right, let's switch over then. You can sit or you can lie down. Matthias is offering another variation here. You can put that under your knees if you want. So I know Matthias, at least in his job, he sits here in my seat most of the day in meetings and sitting in front of his computer. So lying down for him feels like a nice shift. So whatever you've been doing today, let your response in the quiet time be in relationship to that. So I just want to honor this coming together. Something that is so important and something that sometimes gets lost is in the traditional spiritual practices, coming together with other people is part of the practice. Because when you show up to be with others, you are also showing up for yourself. And practice doesn't happen unless you can show up for yourself. And there's this nice quote from the Bhagavad Gita. It says, "Whenever the mind wanders, restless and diffuse in its search for satisfaction, lead it within. Train your mind to rest in itself." So this is the training of spiritual practice, and it's really difficult to do that alone sometimes. Even the presence of one other person makes it possible. So thank you all for showing up, because this gathering would literally not happen without you. So bring that intention in to notice now in this moment the reality of being in your body now. Just taking the impressions of the day and letting them sink down, as if your mind is a bucket full of muddy water. And as you hold still, the mud just settles and the clear water remains above. Notice the impressions that this day, this week, this month have left in your mind and body. So whether sitting at a desk in a very quiet space, or like Lena today, working with children and moving and performing, Just notice how the body receives this input from life, and your mind as well. Sitting in meditation, at times it feels like the events of the day are like footprints on the muddy, on the wet sand on the beach, sort of leaving this impression on my mind. And so this practice is like the tide coming in and wiping the mind clean to receive new impressions. So with a quiet mind and an open heart, we'll bring in Sahana, an invocation asking that our coming together nourish us and be an offering of peace within this small group of people and the larger community practicing with us around the world. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Punaktu, Sahaviryan Karavavahai, Tejasvina Vati Tamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And let's just take about 12 breaths together. In whatever way you count your breathing, whatever technique you would like to use, whatever pranayama technique, lying down or sitting up, just 12 breaths flowing in and out. As you continue breathing, notice what calls your attention today with the flow of the breath. Is it the sensations, the nostrils, sensations, the throat, the sensation of the expansion of the torso or the shrinking of the torso? Does your mind find more interest in paying attention to the length of the breath flowing in and out? Just notice where your attention falls in the process of intentionally deepening the breath. Even noticing, for some of us, maybe it's difficult to focus on the breath this evening. That counts as input for our practice. Noticing what the mind does and does not want to do. And then we guide it back, just following the flow of the breath, training like a puppy. Whenever you complete your 12 breaths, just be still for a moment, noticing again the energy you feel in your body and mind at this time of the day. Catherine, early morning. Those of us in Germany and Sweden, into evening. And then when you're ready, let's start on the back, sort of honoring that low energy that some of us expressed before practice. So you can let the legs be straight, or you can let the knees be bent with maybe a little support under the knees if that feels good. Let me expand my view here. Good. So just take a moment, feel the spine coming into contact with the floor below. Noticing how your shoulder blades come into contact with the floor, the arms, elbows, wrists, and of course the back side of the pelvis, the sacral joint. So just noticing the contact with the floor. Take just 3 or 4 breaths here and really try to expand into the body with inhale. Exhale, let the belly button sink down towards the spine. Let the rib cage close. Each inhale expanding. Chest and belly rising. Exhale, letting the belly button sink. Let the rib cage relax. And then a few times just intentionally paying more attention to the exhale. We're going to use this a little bit later. So imagine as you begin the exhale, you could pull the pelvic floor a little closer to the body. And then through the front of the body, almost like you have a tight pair of pants with a zipper. As you exhale, you zip up the belly and then let the rib cage relax. And then as you inhale, you open that zipper up, everything expands. Exhale, zipper zips up, pelvic floor engaged. Maybe even the feeling as you exhale, like your pubic bone is tipping up a little bit. You're going to bring your pubic bone like it's coming towards your belly button. And inhale, letting that all expand. Exhale. And just be attentive to the low back as you make this little movement with the pelvis. Inhale, pubic bone moves down. Exhale, pubic bone curls towards your belly button. So it makes the low back round a little bit on exhale, and inhale, arching a little bit. So this is like an exaggeration of the movement. We don't have to move the back, but the tipping of the pubic bone can help build this awareness of this relationship between the pelvis and the low back. So see if you can feel that. And then from here, let's just roll over onto the side, come up to hands and knees posture. So we'll do some form of Chakravakasana here. So just take a moment Notice, I like to sort of pause sometimes before I do a coordinated movement here. So just take a moment and notice neck, shoulders, spine. So sometimes through the day, we can make it through a whole day without having our spine perpendicular to the field of gravity. So just now notice as we change this orientation, asking our muscles to move in a different way. Notice if there's any source of tension or restriction or even discomfort, or if everything seems to be comfortably connected and free to move. And then as we do the posture, we'll start a little slower. So we're going to take it into 3 pieces. So just watch for first. So inhale, we'll come into the hands and knees, shoulder blades a little bit together, chest a little forward. And then we'll exhale 1/3 of the way down. Elbows drop, head drop. Move the hips back 1/3 of the way, let the head come down. Then inhale all the way up. And exhale 1/3 of the way. So just try that if you haven't already. When you come 1/3 back, let the neck be relaxed, the head down, and then inhale up. So just 1/3 back. Pull the belly in on exhale, like the zipper zipping up. And then after a few rounds, try moving down now 2/3 of the way. Shoulders relax, head down, inhale up. So belly lengthens as you come up, belly together, and zipping up as you come down. So 1/3 or 2/3 of the way down. Just notice what you feel, the shoulders, the back, the hips. And then if you'd like, you can come all the way down, or you can stay in either of these positions 1/3 or 2/3 of the way down. Maybe there's a particular part of your body that finds more interesting experiences only coming part way down. Just continue breathing and feeling. And let's just open this body up a little bit more. Let's move the hands over to one side. So I'm taking both hands to the right side. Take the opposite hand, so the left hand reaches away from you. Drop the shoulder, let the hips move a little bit back. So you're doing like a side stretching sort of position. So the shoulders come close to the floor, hips just moving back a little bit, creating a little sense of traction on one side. Just a few breaths there. And then eventually come up and try the second side. So onto the hands and knees, move the arms over, reach one arm forward, and then let the hip draw back, the shoulder move towards the floor, head towards the floor, lengthening through one side. Come back to the hands and knees. And let's just do a gentle twisting kind of movement. So take one shoulder towards the floor. See if the other shoulder can lift up. This hand that's up, the arm that's above can either help to rotate the body a little bit by pushing towards the floor,
You can have this hand up if that feels more comfortable, or over the head. So just find a useful purpose for this top hand. The other arm is on the floor. Neck is comfortable. Playing with the hand position to find something that supports. After a few breaths on that side, come up. Take a moment. And then when you're ready, switch sides. Again, if you like, you can use this top hand to support the twisting sensation, or you can use it to more lengthen, work the posture in whatever way feels most beneficial for you. And when you feel you've completed the second side, make your way up to standing, whatever way you like. Okay. And just feel the body. Good. So feel the feet in contact with the floor. Take one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Just feel for a moment, come back to the breath. And we'll start simple here. So as you inhale, expanding the chest, letting the belly come out. As you exhale, the sensation again, like the pubic bone is going to come closer to the belly button. So there's a pulling in with this lower hand. Maybe lift the toes. Feel like your tailbone is dropping down a little bit as your pubic bone lifts. And then as you inhale, do sort of the opposite of that. So we're exaggerating this sort of lifting the pubic bone. Toes can lift like you're contracting along the front. And as you inhale, you're lengthening along the front of the body. So it's a small movement, but just notice if that's an easy sensation to connect to or a little challenging. And we can start to involve the arms a little bit. Let's take the fingertips to the shoulders. So first, just notice how that feels. So for some of us, this is already creating some strong sensations in the arms or shoulders. And then as you exhale, lifting the pubic bone, lifting the toes, bring the elbows together, rounding the upper back. And as you inhale, toes to the floor, pubic bone drops, chest lifts. So exhale, toes up, pubic bone lifts. Inhale, toes down, lengthening through the whole front of the body. Exhale, lengthening to the back of the body. Inhale through the front. So see if you can have a sensation of that. See if it feels like an awareness of the whole front and back line of the bodies all the way to the floor. Exhale, elbows together. Maybe stay here a breath or two. Head coming down. And then as you inhale, drop the toes. Let's reach the arms out now. Fingers pointing away. You can take the palms of the hands up if that feels good, or if another position feels better, feel free. If you're not sure what hand position feels better, just try it. And then a little bit looking at one side. Inhale. Look to the other side. Maybe doing a little internal rotation with the back hand as you look over to the other hand. Inhale, switching the hand. So just noticing arms, internal, external rotation of the shoulders as we turn the head. Noticing shoulders and neck. And then shake the arms out. Just a little simple movement. Let's take the feet a little wider apart, hands to the low belly. We're gonna inhale, open, hand stays low, point towards the floor, let the back ball or heel lift, ball of the foot. Exhale, hand comes back to the belly. Inhale, open to the other side. Exhale. One more time, low hand, fingertips and eyes stay together, so you're watching the fingertips move with your eyes. That gives the head a chance to follow. Can lift the arm shoulder height. Different sensation in the neck and shoulders. And then finally higher with the hands and following the fingertips with the eyes. Good. Eventually we'll come back to center. When you feel ready, we'll just touch the floor, Uttanasana. Arms can sweep up if you like. Sweep down, let the knees bend as much as you need to. Touch the floor with the hands, let the neck be long. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, move down. We'll respect the energy of the body. So inhale, come up. If you need to move a little slower, just take a breath here on exhale. And then inhale, begin again. And exhale down. So moving at whatever pace feels right. Good. If you like, come down into the forward folding position and stay there. Just take a few breaths. If you want to work on lengthening the legs, you can straighten one leg. Oops, sorry, I dropped you there. The other leg. And then if you like, a couple times from here, we're just going to slide up halfway so the hands can come up to the knees or they can open out to the side. Exhale down. Inhale halfway up. Nice straight back. Exhale down. And you notice when I say halfway up, even I'm coming more than halfway, but you can see the position of the back, nice and straight. Exhale, let the back round as you come down. Inhale, engage. And then as we lift the arms, that helps us wake up the upper back. And then if you like, you can stay in this halfway position, either with the hands supporting the weight or the hands out wide. Strong back, strong legs. And then come down, release, lengthen the legs. And then whenever you feel ready, you'll come back up to standing. Good. Pause a moment here. Okay. So we're going to do a little sequence standing. So this is going to work a little bit more the feet, the legs. So we'll do it like a half squat kind of movement. So coming into the position will look like this. We'll leave the hands up. We're going to squat down like we're sitting on a stool, touch the floor. And then inhale, let the hands slide up until they're on the outside of the knees and stay there. And then inhale, come all the way up. So we'll do some variations of that kind of movement, and we'll play a little bit with the feet. So we'll inhale up, exhale, squat down, touch the floor. Inhale, slide the hands up, lift the chest. Stay here. Exhale and lift the toes as you exhale. Inhale, let the toes come down. Exhale, let the toes curl up. And then inhale, come all the way up. Stay standing. Inhale, come up again. Squat down, touch the floor. Inhale, hands slide to the knees. Exhale, curl the toes. Inhale, toes come down, heels come up. Exhale, heels come down, toes come up. If you can, one more time. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down, toes up. Inhale, stand. Exhale, pause. Okay. Just notice that. Notice the energy in the body. So whenever a pregnant woman do this posture, the heart goes like this very quickly. So just notice your own heart rate. Then inhale, squat down. Exhale, touch the floor. Inhale, hands to the knees. Exhale, stay here. Lift the toes if you like. This time, inhale, stay here on the balls of the feet as you exhale. Maybe 2 more breaths if it's comfortable. And then if you like, you can drop the heels and stand, or stay standing on the balls of the feet. Lift. Exhale, heels down. Pause a moment. Just feel the body. Just as a nice little counter pose, we're going to balance. So if you're not feeling so stable, you can use a wall or a chair. Otherwise, we'll take one hand behind us and hold on to the foot. Good. Let the knee be down next to the other knee. Stay here breathing. Just a couple of breaths.
Good. After a few breaths on the first side, try the second side. Notice if it feels the same or different than the other side. And then come back down. We're going to do a really simple side stretch standing. So sometimes we do it with the legs wide apart, but today we'll do it feet closer together. And we'll just inhale. So Lena, this is the good one with the kids. As you exhale, let the hand come down as you just lean to the side. And inhale up and exhale down. So this is the tree blowing in the wind. So the arms here can be soft, more like a dance. Moving with your breath. Good. Be aware of the position of the head and neck. Let the neck, if it's okay for your neck, be supple. So the head is also falling to the side as you come down. And then eventually, why don't you stay on one side? This hand can come to the hip and support the weight. Reaching over, breathing. Let the head, the neck just sort of be guided by gravity. Feet and legs strong and lifting. Reaching over. After a few breaths, we'll come to the center. Lift the other arm and switch sides. Good. Legs and body strong and lifting. Head and neck can just yield to gravity. Arm reaching. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Pause again. And let's turn again towards one front of the mat. One leg forward, one leg back. And like we did last week, we did this variation last week. One hand on the front leg. Inhale, come forward, lift this arm. See if you can feel a lengthening sort of from this foot forward through the one side, the armpit maybe to the fingertips for some of us. And as you exhale, let that hand drop. The same idea, like feels like the pubic bone is coming closer to the belly button, and then inhale, let that open, open, open. Exhale. Close. So opening this belly space between pubic bone and navel. Exhale, bringing it together. Good. And then we'll come into the posture, one arm, and see if you can be aware of the space between the belly button and pubic bone. Inhale, expanding it. Exhale, closing it just a little bit. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, closing that space. There's just small shifts in the position of the pelvis created just by exhaling with an awareness of the low belly. And eventually we'll take the hands to this front leg,
Slide the hands down, head towards that knee, belly towards the thigh. Stay here for a few breaths. Some of us feeling some lengthening here behind this front leg. We can straighten the front leg just a little bit. And then eventually come back to the warrior-like position, step the feet together. Pause a moment. And then eventually we'll come back. No, wait. There we go. Okay. Make sure you step the other foot back this time. Not like I did. All right, now we're getting warmer. So one layer comes off. So this practice is a Langana Brahmana practice. So first cooling, slower resting, and then heating up now. So inhale. Again, lengthen arm up. Feel the space between the belly button, pubic bone open. Exhale. So this doesn't have to be a big movement. Just this sense of openness, spaciousness on inhale. Exhale. Pulling it back in. So inhale up. With practice, there's no intentional moving, just the inhale creates space. Exhale brings that space in. Again, this time, come up. Stay here, inhaling, creating space. Exhaling, pulling the low belly in. Find your breath, see if you can take the inhale all the way to the pelvic floor. Exhale, filling that space. And then as you feel ready, we'll take the hands to the front leg, all the way down, head towards the knee. Lengthen behind this front leg. The hip can move back behind you towards the wall, as if you're going to bring your head towards your knee or towards your front leg. Belly toward the thigh. Breathing. Keep the hands on the floor here on either side of the foot. Step the foot back. Downward dog sort of position. Knees to the floor. And come back into a childlike posture. And just pause for a moment. Just resting the body. Let the breath settle for a moment. Notice what you feel in your body. Always approaching these practices like a scientist, just gathering data. Good scientist doesn't project their opinions on their data. They just observe and take note. So we get a little bit out of the fix-it mindset and into the full acceptance of reality in this moment. And then just a couple of rounds of Vajrasana. My practice partner stole my blanket. Can you give me that blanket over there? The gray one? Oh, that'll work too. So I need something under my knees for this one. So we'll stand on the knees. So we'll do one arm at a time. So we'll take one hand behind. Inhale, one arm sweeping up. Exhale, let that one arm come forward and down. And inhale, come up. Stay standing. Exhale, bring that hand down. Switch sides. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward, down. Inhale, up. Stay standing. Sweep the arm back. Good. Inhale, arm sweeps up, so switching sides. Exhale, down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, sweep the hand down. Inhale, switching sides. Exhale, down. All the way up. Stay standing. This time, both hands up. Exhale, come forward with both hands. Inhale onto the hands and knees, and then lower yourself down to the floor. Bring the forehead to the floor. Arms, feel free to choose whatever arm position serves you well today. If you want some ideas, there's the hands sort of close to where the shoulders are, the elbows back. Some of you might enjoy hands closer to the lower part of the rib cage, elbows high. Also just nice variations with the arms out wide or a little more forward, gentle with arms bent. So find a position that feels comfortable for your shoulders and neck. Let's do forehead to the floor. And let's take the legs a little bit wider than a yoga mat, if you have the space. Otherwise, just as wide as you comfortably can in your space. And then let's inhale all the way up. Lift the head and chest. Exhale, come halfway down. Drop the head, drop the chest. Inhale all the way up again. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Good. Try that sequence a couple times. So inhale all the way up. Legs can stay on the floor. Exhale halfway down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. One more time. Inhale all the way up. Exhale halfway down. Inhale all the way up. And then if you like, you can twist your head to one side as you come down, if that's more comfortable for your neck. Pause a moment. So either do that 2 more times, or if you like, integrate the legs as well. So as you inhale, lift, you can lift the legs as well as the head and shoulders. Exhale, everything halfway down. Inhale all the way up. And exhale all the way down. If you're turning your head, just turn to the other side. And then as you feel ready, come again. Inhale all the way up. Exhale halfway down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down.
If it feels comfortable in your body, we'll lift up and we'll stay in the up position. Legs can be up or down.
Just stay breathing for a few breaths in this position. See if you can again find the subtle awareness of engaging the low belly as you exhale, and as you inhale, letting that inhale come all the way into your belly. You might even create a sensation of rocking as you breathe. Now you have to lift the whole weight of the body, so be gentle. And then when you feel ready, just come down, rest the head.
So for some of you, might need straight away in the childlike posture to round the back. Otherwise, if it's okay to stay in this position for a little longer, you can just bend the knees, the feet come up, and let the feet just shake side to side. It's another way to help release the low back. If you need a stronger counter pose, come into a childlike posture. Good.
And then when you're ready, we're just going to roll over, lie on the back. So coming back to the starting position, the legs can be straight on the floor or the knees can be bent. Just notice again how the shoulder blades come into contact with the floor, the arms, elbows, wrists, the back side of the pelvis, iliosacral joint. And just from this position, feet to the floor, if they're not already to the floor, we'll just do a little bit of the bridge posture like we did last week, just simple, lifting as much as is comfortable, and exhale, releasing the spine one vertebra at a time. Do that a few times as if you're unwinding the spine back. And just to talk a little bit more with the hip pelvis connection here, we're going to do an asymmetric version of this posture. So take the sole of the one foot and place it along the knee up, coming into the quad here. So the toes are pointing upward. And just inhale. So this way, as you inhale, come up, the force through this leg is going down through the leg that's on the floor. And exhale, slowly come down. So inhaling up, exhaling down. It's too unstable or right, both legs on the floor, and maybe instead of 2 feet or 1 foot off the floor, 2 feet on the floor, and just feeling the lift coming up on the side. Otherwise, if you can do this version, just do this a few times on one side. Notice how your body and mind respond. Then with a short break, we'll switch to the second side and try this side a few times.
Inhaling up and exhaling down. Again, using this position as we come down, exhaling, feeling the pubic bone closer to the navel. Inhale, feeling that makes space. And again, just noticing difference between left and right sides. And then when you feel you've done enough on both sides, just bring the knees in, hug the knees, rock side to side, or gentle Apanasana. And then feet come down. So let's start with one leg. I'm going to keep my right leg on the floor. Take the other knee away from you. So you get this foot that's on the floor, the knee can be bent, or if you like, the knee can be straight. If you know that the back side of the leg is a bit tight or a bit short, then maybe keep this knee bent. It might help the movement. We're going to do the lifting of the foot here. So inhale, lift the heel up, pull the toes towards your face, and exhale, release. So doing that a few times. Inhale up, exhale down. Here, just be attentive now, the knee, the ankle, the foot, and how they're moving together. And then inhale, lift this leg up again and see if you can comfortably hold it there for a moment or two. Arms can reach out to the side, palms of the hands down. And then as you inhale, let's open the leg out to the side. And as you exhale, we're going to come into a twisting position. So this foot moves down towards the floor in a nice controlled way. Inhale up and all the way open. And exhale, twisting. And all the way up. If you need an extra breath on the inhale, feel free to take as many breaths as you need, just with an awareness. Last one. And then when you come into the twist, stay in the twisted position. Good. Trusting you all to adapt the leg, the upper leg, as much as you need to. Matthias is nicely bending his leg. And when you're ready to come out of this position, we're going to take that leg all up nicely and then exhale. Reach the leg down. Pause. Again, just awareness of the impression of the back of the body against the floor. And then we're going to do that sequence on the other side. So the hands can come behind the knee. Inhale, extending the leg up, exhaling down. You can continue holding the leg, or if you prefer, just keep the arms out. And then eventually we'll keep this leg up, either holding on with the hands or take the arms out to the side. And then the journey begins. Inhale, opening the leg out to the side. And exhale, coming all the way across the body into a twist. Inhaling up and open. Exhaling, cross the body and twist. Again, if you need extra breaths in that long movement, find a rhythm that coordinates and feels comfortable. One of the great things about practicing online is that you are more able to move with the feelings and the sensations in your own body rather than sort of peeking at the people around you to see what you think you're supposed to be doing. Maybe one more time, all the way open to the side and across the body and twisting. Stay there for a few breaths. Matthias, take your hand closer to the hip so it can come to the floor, or on my foot, that's good too. Turn the bottom of the hand down and touch the floor so you can use that to come up. When you're ready to come out of the twist, we'll lift the foot up, release it back towards the floor, pause for a moment. And then a really simple posture from here. So we're gonna curve the body in the direction of the first side you twisted on. So the first side I twisted was twisting to the right side. So I'm going to take my right foot out to the right. My left foot is going to come next to it. So you can't take the right foot out too far because you want both the iliac crests here, these pointy parts of your hips, they stay pointing towards the ceiling. So the one leg is going to slide just a bit and get the other leg next to it. So it lengthens across that one leg. And then just take the opposite arm, the arm away from the direction. If you're a banana, you're curving to one side. The arm on the outside of the banana is lifting up. And you're just lengthening all along this one side, from the feet to the hand. One variation I find helpful in this posture is, so everything is curved over towards the right side. I take my right foot with the knee up and I hold on to the right ankle. And that for me helps my pelvis feel a little bit more stable, but this might not be a very good variation for you. So feel free to try it. Otherwise, just keep both legs stretched out, curve to the side, both shoulder blades against the floor. Just staying here and breathing. After a few breaths, we're going to come back to the center for a moment. Arms and legs in a symmetric position. Pause. And then you're going to take the feet now to the other side. So one foot steps over, the other foot next to it. The other arm reaches up. Banana posture. If you like, you can do this variation with the inside leg bent, holding on to the ankle. Otherwise, just stay flat on the floor, breathing. When you feel like you complete the second side, come back to the center one more time. Back to this familiar posture we started with. Just gentle counter pose. You can either do Apanasana, holding the knees in, or maybe for you a little bridge might feel nice. Maybe the head turning to one side and the other. So just do a gentle counter pose that feels appropriate for your body. And from here, we're gonna come into a resting kind of posture. So something like Shavasana. So I want to give us a little time to rest and then also have enough time to do just a bit of sitting. So find some space to stay warm, to stay comfortable. And I'll call you back in a moment with my voice. As you rest a moment, just listen to these words from an ancient poet. Sometimes I forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy, my heart too heavy, for me to remember that I have been called to dance the sacred dance of life. I was created to smile,
to love, to be lifted up, and to lift up others. Please untangle my feet from all that ensnares me. Free my soul that we may dance together and that our dancing may be contagious. An ancient Sufi poet, his words echoed in the more recent writings of Rilke, who speaks of joy. And he said something like, joy is unspeakably more than happiness. Happiness washes over us and washes away. Happiness is granted by our circumstances. Joy, on the other hand, arises from within us. Joy is simply a good season of the heart. Joy is the most extraordinary gift we have in our power. So if being on the floor feels comfortable and supportive, you can stay there a bit longer. If you'd like to sit up and be in a quiet space while sitting, you can slowly make your way to sitting. So an idea these poets point to, we can see sometimes when we allow ourselves to be quiet. They focused on joy in these two examples, but all emotions coming and going, like footprints on a wet, sandy beach. They come and they go. Another poem by Rumi expresses it in this way. This being human is a guest house. Every day a new arrival. First joy, sadness, anger, they come, they go. In the teachings of my Zen teacher, they say, leave the doors of the mind open so your guests come, and make sure the back door's open because then they go. And one of the keys to freedom in this human experience is the practice of letting go, of not getting too stuck. So as we sit or lie down in silence, be the watcher. Thoughts come and go. Emotions come and go. Thoughts like, I feel tired, feel thirsty, hungry. That thing today was great. Oh, that thing today was tough. Each of these impressions in the mind, let them come and let them go.
almost like these thoughts are not you. These thoughts like collaborators on your journey. And if you should find that some thought becomes very attractive, some problem you're trying to figure out, for this practice, rather than untying the knots of the puzzle in your mind, imagine you can let the mind expand and give space to this puzzle. No need to push it away. Allow yourself to expand and give it space. And if you should find that your mind's gotten stuck on a thought, emotion, just begin again. Open the doors, let them come and go. Om Ayo Dehi Pranam Dehi Om Apanam Dehi Pyanam Dehi Om Chakshur Dehi Shrotram Dehi Om Mano Dehi Vacham Dehi Om Atmanam Dehi Pratishtam Dehi Omam Dehi Mahi Dehi. May I have support for my life and my life force for my systems of elimination, nervous system, my seeing and hearing, my mind and speech, the essence of myself, and for all of those on my team through this life, for me and mine. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. If you're still on the floor and still able to sit up, then sit up for a moment. Take a moment of gratitude for the health and capacity to be able to make this offering for yourself and for each of us who benefits from your presence and your attention and your energy. As we each have gotten through the last couple years in our little bubbles of isolation, that this presence is still so valuable. Thank you